Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tekamaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where Sabrina AI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tekamaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tekamaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience.
Peace, peace, peace. Tech was good, baby.
Peace, peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear, man. Hear you clear. You heard?
All good.
I'm hype. I'm hyped today, man. I'm hype.
What you hyped about?
Man, just life, bro. Every day is Christmas from now on, man.
I heard that.
Every day is Christmas from now on. So we got a real good topic today, man. Thank you to everybody tuning in. I'm live here from Chicago. Brother Tech is live from Oakland, California. And I'm originally from Brooklyn. So we have the East Coast, Midwest, and West Coast in the building. You heard?
Oh, baby.
We gotta get live, man. This topic that we're gonna talk about today on the show came to me immediately after we finished our last show, which was a great topic already. But this came immediately after, and I was like, yo, like we're sharing all of this information of how the notary business is evolving. But wouldn't that also mean that there is a dying breed of notaries, that are going to be obsolete because of the old ways of doing business?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, man, because that ties into a little bit of my money corner, which is that there's a transition happening, and the way that people were used to doing things, it's over. So notaries who used to do things if you operated a certain way, that's done. It's done.
Yeah, they did this survey. They said by the year 2030, like there's going to be like 85% of jobs are going to be dismantled and obsolete because of AI and everything that you're able to do with that. Like 85% of, like, I think is a certain type of jobs. It's not all jobs, of course, but certain type of jobs is going to be eradicated from this new era that we're entering. Now, here's the great part, though. Everybody that was learning a trade, such as electricians and HVAC and plumbers and stuff, you guys are going to get a lot more business. So shout out to you guys that work well with your hands, and this is what you do, because AI is not touching you. You are going to be in even more high demand. Survey said that America is going to need about 500,000 electricians by the year 2030. 500,000, Tech.
So manual labor jobs are going to increase.
It's only in certain specialized manual labor jobs. Now, people that worked in factories that were doing the forklifts and stuff like that, Walmart has released their first automated warehouse, packaging, loading, unloading in Florida. They did this about 2 months ago. So this is the first of its kind in the United States. Now, China actually has a automated automotive factory that is running in the dark.
Wow.
No light. So yeah, we're you can look at it and say that we're behind or whatever, but it's eventually going to move this way to the Western side. If they're doing that out there and they're running a 100% automated factory job, they're eventually going to bring that over here, bro. Because when I was working at an engineering firm and I saw what Ford was doing, they were working right next to their competition, and their competition was a robot. It was putting the doors together just as fast as the assembly line was. The same way Walmart and Target, they're working right next to their self-checkout kiosk. Sam's Club rolled out Scan and Go. I mean, like, it's out here, bro. It's like it's in your face. Scan and Go, bro. Like, while you're shopping, you are using your phone and you're scanning the barcode yourself. I didn't know I was the employee for Sam's Club, but they made me a self-designated employee to check out my own shit now, right? I don't get none of the benefits.
Yeah, that's the reason why my wife refuses to do the self-checkout. I mean, we do it when we're together, but yeah, she's like, I don't work here. You work here.
Yeah, but check this out, right? At Sam's Club, the lines are so long. So while you're shopping, you're scanning with your phone, and then it's connected to your credit card. So now they have this big portal, kind of like, when you were going to high school and they had the metal detectors and shit, right? You walk through this portal and it automatically reads everything that you had in your cart and your scan code, and you walk straight through the line. You don't even stand on a line anymore. That is genius, what I saw. I won't even go to Sam's Club without it. And then I know you do this, Tech. You order ahead of time, and then you park in the designated parking spot, and they bring it out to you.
Yeah, if I'm with the baby, I'll definitely do that. If I'm by myself, I'll walk through the grocery store just because I want to move my legs around. That's the only reason why I do it. But if I'm with the baby, like I just got back from the grocery store and the UPS store, and I put it up on the phone, and then you park in space number 2, and they come outside, you tell them what kind of car you're in, what color, and they ask you, do you want it in the back seat or do you want it in the trunk? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then it's so much faster. I don't have to take the stroller out. I don't have to carry him throughout the grocery store. Yeah, it's way simpler.
So there are new skills that's going to be in demand right now. No, it's
Yeah.
yeah. So that goes into our today's topic, man. It's the dying breed, bro. We have the top 5 lists to see if you are part of this dying breed of notary class.
Man, but let's properly introduce our show.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
start
go
with
ahead.
yeah. Greetings to everybody who's watching the Notary Insights show with Tech and Tiger. This is how we do the show. We got our introduction where we chop it up with you guys. We tell you guys a little bit about what's going on, updates, and as you guys know, this is it. This is the whole society is transitioning right now, and you're witnessing it in real time. And so we go into our main topic, which is the signs of a dying breed. And then we got some special treats for you guys in terms of the money corner. Talk to you guys about how a notary business owner and really a responsible and fiscally aware, mature adult can make some appropriate moves in this day and in this type of society. Then we'll finish with our notary trivia, give or take if we have the time, and we'll do pass or trash, which is when we audit websites or we'll look at how a functional versus a dysfunctional website. And then we'll finish off the show just like that. That's how we rock. So if you're first time rocking with us, welcome to the show. If not, then you've been here before, then you know how we do it, man.
Yeah, speaking of the notary trivia, Tech, I have removed that segment, brother.
All right.
The only reason why I removed that segment is because I was experiencing too many glitches from either Canva, where I design it and do the website stuff, or the internet might be acting real funky and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I don't like delaying the show. I like keeping it running smooth. So what I'm doing now, I'm just adding the link to the description so you guys can go ahead and take the notary trivia yourself and then, have fun with your other notary buddies. So
that's cool. That's cool with me.
Yeah. So we'll do it like that. Yeah, so let's go into our topic, man. The 5 signs of you may be part of a dying breed of notaries, and we really want to prepare you guys. We're not one of these fear mongers where we're going to give you all of these things to be afraid of and not give you any fast action solutions. So we're going to point out things that are happening right now or happening in the near future, and then we're going to give you some solutions on how to combat that so you're not, taken astray, or you're like, oh my God, I went from $60,000 a year. Now I'm making like $23,000 and now I have to get another job. Fair enough, people, ladies and gentlemen. And shout out to everybody. Let us know, this is a live interactive show. So go ahead, leave comments, say what's up, say hi, shout out your city. You know how we do. It's always love. So number 2, so let's go into this, right? So the notary world is evolving. And the reason why we're doing this show is because not enough people are speaking about this, because the notary market is relatively small. There's really, it's a $1 billion industry, but it's a small, tight-knit industry, like the music industry. The digital age is shifting how services are delivered. Clients expect speed. Remember that, speed. I should have boldened this. Professionalism and automation. There was a time automation wasn't necessary, Tech, in this industry. There was a time automation wasn't even possible in the notary industry. Now, clients are expecting, hey, where's my confirmation? Where's my confirmation text? Where's my confirmation email? You guys got my money. You have, processed my payment. Where's all the confirmation? Like I use Scentbird I don't know if you heard of Scentbird before, Tech, where you get
No.
different fragrances of, different designer fragrances sent to you every single month. So I get all kind of like designer fragrances sent to me every month, right? And one thing I love about Scentbird is that they constantly give me confirmation. Your order has been shipped. Your order's on its way. Your order should be there in about 2 days. Your order has been delivered. What did you think about your order? You might think that's redundant, but I feel reassured knowing that, okay, these guys are hitting my credit card every single month, but they're delivering on their promise.
It's a courtesy reminder. That's a courtesy, and that's what people come to expect.
Now, I'll even take it a step further, Tech. It's reassurance for me. It builds my confidence level up in that company. It's one thing as courtesy, like, hey, just want to let you know. But for me, it builds my confidence up in Scentbird, saying that, okay, they have an automated system where the scent that I selected have been sent to me. They send me confirmations. They send me discounts. They send me all kind of stuff, bro. And it makes me want to do business with them a lot longer than just to say, all right, I'm gonna just grab 3 fragrances and I'm a bounce. So that's something to keep in mind. Automation. And then if you don't adapt, you risk on becoming obsolete. So we're going to start off with number 5, and then we're going to go all the way up to our top 1 spot. So number 5, signs that you may be, losing your edge here. You do one appointment and never contact the client again. You have a very, very poor follow-up system. This is what I was just saying. The courtesy, the follow-up, it builds confidence. Now, why does this hurt you and your business? You're leaking recurring revenue and missing referrals. I was going to cancel Scentbird last month. Actually, this month. Scentbird said, whoa, we don't want you to go yet. Come on, man. There's something that we could do. How about we give you an extra fragrance for free on your next order? I said, you slick bastards. Yes, I'll stay with you a couple more months. Now, Tech, let me ask you, was that a person typing that up and saying, uh-oh, Tiger Toledo's ready to cancel his membership? Let's send him. No, that thing was automated, bro.
Notaries just don't understand. Notaries just don't get it. These are the little things. It's not about what kind of scanner you have or where you took training. This is what the universal principle of business success looks like.
So we're going to give you a fast action fix right now. You got to set up some type of automated text, email, follow-up after each appointment. Sabrina does a great job of that. If you don't go with Sabrina, go with somebody that sets that up. We highly recommend Sabrina, not just because we created it, but we are active users of it. And then our other notary black ops use it also, and they are seeing results. You want to stay top of mind. If you stay top of mind, you get more repeat business. Out of sight, out of mind. You've heard that slogan before, and it's true.
But it's a good point, man. Like, I really don't hope. I hope you don't kind of skip over this, because what you're saying, the question that somebody's probably asking themselves right now as they listen to you talk is, okay, how do I actually do this for me, for the notary business? Like, you just broke it down why you should do it. Now, how do you practically apply this? How do you use this? Because one way you could just manually send out a message a day later or 2 days later or a week later when you finally figure it out. Or the other way is you can have a pre-built system that already does this for you on your behalf, so that when you're driving or you're at another appointment or you're at the grocery store and somebody decides that, you know what, I think I'm going to unsubscribe from your mailing list. And instantly that person is asked, you know what can we do better?
Mm-hmm.
Is it too many messages? Is it too frequently? Maybe the topics. Do you want more coupons, or you want more offers? Do you want a different variety of topics? Like, you can do something. You can implement some type of action that could actually, that's automated, that could, keep you top of mind.
Yeah. I know when I first started in the notary business, starting any business requires a lot of energy. It requires a lot of time. You're going to start sacrificing time that you would have had allotted for, maybe your family or your spouse or your partner, whatever that case is. You're going to be ripping that time away from them while you grow your notary business, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. When I first started in 2018, there wasn't that many things where I could start automated, or I'll say this, nobody was talking about automation. AI didn't exist yet. There weren't virtual assistants. Everybody was going out and they were getting virtual assistants from the Philippines, me included, because there weren't good options out there for us to automate these things. So we would wind up hiring another human personnel. The problem with the human personnel is that they have issues and they have things that's going on in their lives as well.
Just like you.
So you're spending family time and then you get a sales call, but you're having dinner with the family. Like, now you gotta, you're seesawing. What should you do? It shouldn't be like that. It's not like that anymore. You feel sick one day, don't feel like answering the phone calls or running any notary appointments. That's a thing in the past. It doesn't have to be like that anymore. Me and Tech went through it. You don't have to go through that. Let's go on to sign number 4, that you may be becoming obsolete. The problem: you compete on price instead of value. I don't know where Tech and I are going to push this till you become blue in the face, like you've been holding your breath. The problem is you undercharge to stay competitive. Somebody's offering $20, you offering $19.33. Now, why it hurts you? You attract price shoppers. You may not have heard that before. You attract price shoppers, also known as discount shoppers, also known as coupon clippers.
Tire kickers.
Well, tire kickers don't even purchase your shit. The tire kickers are the people that go to your the car dealership knowing that they can't afford it. Credit is shit. No money in the bank. And then they're saying, I want to test drive this Maserati. And they start kicking the tires. They're doing some ASMR shit with their fingers on the side panel of the Maserati. They even give you their photo ID to take it for a free test drive. And then they know that they cannot afford it, and they're going to put that shit on their vision board. That's a tire kicker, bro. They do not buy. And if they buy, it won't be until years later, if that at all. Because people, they switch styles like underwear. They might want a Maserati today, and then like a couple of months later, you know what? I don't want that Maserati no more. I want a Range Rover. Yeah, you want to put your business in them people's hands? Good luck. So here's a fast action fix. Upgrade your brand positioning. And I recommend watching last week's show for that one about the $1 million pitch. Upgrade your brand positioning. Use authority-driven language. People are calling you because they see you as the expert. Don't be as confused as your goddamn prospects are. That's like going to a knee doctor tech and then be like, do you think it's my femur? You're like, I don't know. Maybe it might be. What do you what do you think? Well, let's go with your theory. But you're the doctor. Yeah, but you might be on to something. Here's a knife. Here's a sterile gloves. Go ahead, start. I'll be here watching. They're calling you for advice. They're calling you for instructions. They're calling you for guidance. Guide them. And start charging for results, not time. Take it, bro. Take it.
This is the hardest part of the business for notaries, because instinctively you think, I need to charge $165 so that I can drive 30 minutes to a correctional facility and sit in the holding lobby for 45 minutes while they go and get the inmate. And then I need to sit there and watch them sign a power of attorney for 25 minutes. And then I need to come back out of the jail facility, drive back home another 30 minutes.
Damn.
So I'm looking at collectively 3 hours of work, and yeah, $165 sounds right. That sounds about right.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So by you, again, why does this hurt you? Because you attract the people who says $165? Okay, come right now before you change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the person if you charge $600 for the exact same amount of work, that person, they're not deterred because you charge $600. That's not the reason why they're either selecting you or not selecting you. $600, they're saying, I need this done. And by the way, it needs to be done correctly on the first time because there's a lot at stake. Every time I try to go and get this power of attorney signed in the correctional facility, I run into these issues. The facility's on lockdown. The notary changes their mind. They never asked me about the inmate's ID. So we got there and we couldn't even get it facilitated because they never thought about it. So by you charging what you're worth, then you express the message to the person who's buying that, yeah, this is actually valuable. But too many people have a hard time. They just think, man, $60. I'll just take $60, and then there's no rhyme or reason behind it. They just say that because they read that on TikTok.
Shit, bro, I was taking $30 in the beginning, bro. $30, travel and everything. When I tell you the breed of people I was attracting, they were not human, bro. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. The people that I was attracting at $30 per notarization in Chicago, it make you want to pack your gap. You would think you was about to go to war or something.
It's true, man. It's true. This is the worst one. I can't wait to see the rest of them.
Just to add a story to it, bro. I get a phone call. Well, I don't even know what I was thinking. I think I was just happy to get some business and some money. I was just happy to be running a you know, a service that was in demand, and I was getting paid for it. So I get this call 11:30 at night. It was a Friday night. I already knew what was happening. Cats is partying. They drank, they smoke a little bit, and then they went to a party. They parked in a place they weren't supposed to park. Car gets towed. All right. Yeah. I get that phone call. Man, my car's in the tow. Hey, all right, do you have your photo ID? Yeah, I got my ID. All right, it's going to be $30. Come on down. They'll hit me with that prices. They'll hit me with that Price is Right shit, bro. Come on down.
All right. Come. When can you come? All right, okay, cool. But that type of talk. Hurry up.
Meet me at Doty Road at the car tow place. All right, babe, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get this quick 30 like a fucking crackhead, man.
4 hours later, you're still outside, aren't you?
Nah, the nigga said he had his ID. He didn't have shit, bro. This is what you attract when you have cheap. Now, if I said my service was $100 and something, $200, you think he would have told me he don't have his ID?
He probably would have brought it up.
I get down there, no ID. He has to call somebody to come verify. Oh, it was a fiasco, bro. I'm sitting, everybody's angry because their car got towed, long line, it's hot outside, it's dark, people cursing at each other, people high and drunk, and it's just ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, that's why I said 4 hours later, you're still there waiting for this dude to
it was bad. It was bad, bro. But I noticed anytime I kept my price up above $100, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, $100, there's like a switch that goes off. I started to get a total different class of people.
Really?
I can't explain it. I don't know. I've heard the stories before about there's $100. It triggers something in people's psyche. Mainly buyer's remorse, but if they do not have buyer's remorse, you actually got a good bite. So take that for what it's worth. Let's go on to sign number 3, and then we'll go into a quick commercial break. Sign number 3 that you may be a notary going in extinction. You're running on manual everything. You're booking clients with back and forth text. Oh, God, I remember those days. Using a pen and paper. Been there. And doing it all yourself. Okay, why it hurts. The first one is absolutely true. It is exhausting. It's exhausting. It's hard to keep up with. It's slow, and it's prone to mistakes. 100%. What do you say, Tech, on that?
Yeah, there's people still doing this right now.
Yeah.
There's people who they take pride in doing this right now. They like doing it themselves. They like doing it old school. They think that it adds some type of human element, some type of some this fantasy of this element of human touch to it. So, but they don't. Little do they know, they don't even understand the context, the scope of the problem that they're actually in right now when they do it themselves. So, yeah, if this is you, then you're
it's
on the edge of extinction.
Yeah. This is a wake up call. If this is you, and you're like, damn, that's me. Damn, that's me. That's me too. This is a wake up call to you. You are not running an efficient business. it's like instead of the horse pulling the carriage, you're pulling the carriage with the horse in it.
Yeah, it's gonna take you forever. I don't even know how you get anywhere going this slow. I swear, it's like that person who's driving 30 miles per hour in the fast lane. How do you even get to where you're going that slow? It's gonna take you forever.
Dude, I would, when I would do the pen and paper thing, and I would just write down the address, I would wind up saying, "Oh man, which book did I use?" And I'm thumbing through a bunch of pages trying to find the address, and I'm like, "All right, well now let me put it in my calendar." And now I wrote it on pen and paper. Now I'm transferring it from pen and paper to my calendar, just so I don't double book myself. Oh, it was. I just had no system, bro. That's basically what it was, and I worked diligently to get myself a system because I said, "There's no way I'm going to be able to scale on this. No way." Fast action fix: automate scheduling. Shout out to Sabrina again. She will automatically put it in your calendar. Handles your calls. Now, again, I will shamelessly plug Sabrina because she's the shit. But I'm not telling you guys that you have to get it. There might be other programs out there. I don't know any programs that are designated for the notary industry like Sabrina is. But if you find something, go ahead and use it. Automate your scheduling, call handling, and follow-ups.
There are none. There's a few that does the scheduling part, but they don't do there's zero that does the call handling. Only Sabrina does that. Only Sabrina does that. Until you guys show me another one that does the call handling, I already know that there's some. I can name 2 or 3 that does the automated scheduling and follow-ups. That's fine. None does the call handling. Only Sabrina does that.
Call handling and payment processing, brother.
And the payment processing as well.
Let's flex on that one.
Yeah. So you want to get paid first, or do you want to stand behind? You want to stand behind Tiger at the tow yard at 12 o'clock at night, waiting to get paid,
waiting for your payment.
Yeah, $30.
I only got one thing to say about that, brother. Fuck that, bro. I ain't doing that.
Tow yards are always in the tow yards is always in the worst part of town, the industrial part of town.
Yep. No, thank you. No, thank you. And getting paid up front before I get there, I'm not sacrificing that ever again. Yeah, especially after that one chick. She thought I notarized her document, bro. She took the document, started walking away, and told me in my face, "I'm not paying you." She had a little dusty ass thug boyfriend in the back, like he wouldn't get these hands. But the only reason why she wound up paying me is because I never notarized the document. She assumed that I did. And I told her, Tech, look at the document. Do you see a stamp on there anywhere? She looked at it and she didn't see the stamp, and it was egg on her face.
Yeah, she
was like, "Well, can you notarize it?" I said, "Pay me now." First of all, you don't want to be in those situations. Me, catch me on a good day. I'm on the Brooklyn bullshit. I'm all about it. But if I got shit to do, I don't want to be on that. I just want to get my bread, give you your service, and keep it pushing. Go to the next one. This chick blatantly did that in front of me. I was like, oh, I could just imagine what other notaries would go through, where it might not be as extreme as this hood rat, but what happens if the person says, "Yeah, I'll pay you when I get here"? Now, this happened to me as well, Tech. I'll pay you when you get here. I get to the home, and this chick gives me 4 credit cards, Tech. All of them got declined.
Oh, my God.
Now, This is a repeat customer. That was the only reason why I said, you know what? Yeah, you can pay me once I get there. But at that point, I was already collecting payments up front. So when I got there and I said to myself, good for you. You deserve that because you know better. You should have charged her up front, even if she is a repeat customer.
Yeah.
So I took 100% of the blame on that one. I was like, you should have known better, idiot. So the last one is free your time and grow your income. That free your time is huge. I could make money any day of the week, but the time, I never get the time back, bro. I like spending time with my family, man. As much as they get on my nerves and gives me headaches and shit, I love it. I play PlayStation with my boys. We go to the park. You know, like we'll go to Sky Zone, and you robbing me of that, and then I look up and then I have a daughter in college. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, I wasn't even there. Thank God that wasn't me. But I'm just saying, I can imagine a lot of people be like, I wasn't even there. I was robbed of the quality time that I could have spent with my family. So systems allow you to free your time. If it doesn't do anything else, it gets you your time back.
Yeah, you won't even know until you do it. I mean,
No.
none of this stuff can't be overstated. And here's another thing that we kind of mentioned, but not really. The fact that you get your time back, you can just, that type of detachment, the clients can sense that in your voice. When you sound really desperate versus somebody who's very detached, you're like, I don't care whether you do it or not, whether you buy it or not. I got something better else to do, like spend time with my family. You see, that level of detachment is what compels people to want to be with you. They want to actually work with you versus you saying, well, did you put the payment through? I can stay on the phone while you do it. I can actually do this, and I can do this for you, and I can wait on hands and knees, and then I can like sit by you like a puppy, and then I can wait. Like, no, just say, listen, let me collect a few details from you, and then I'll be able to offer you an exceptional solution for your service. Yeah, once we get around to doing it, then go ahead and do it. We'll get to you when we can. Like that compels people. It sounds counterintuitive. I know you're not probably used to that, but believe it or not, that's actually what makes people want to work with you even more.
Indeed. We got two more until we hit the top number one sign on the list. But before we do that, we're going to go to these messages.
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where Sabrina AI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
All right, we're back. Sign number 2 that you may be a notary going obsolete. You don't have a clear pitch. And again, refer to the show that Tech and I did last week on the $1 million pitch. The problem is you can't explain your services or value in under 10 seconds. Tech has mastered it. He probably got it like 3 seconds. He can tell you exactly what he does in like 3 seconds. Boom. He has a stopwatch to see how quick he can close the deal in record time. So why does this hurt you? You sound like every other notary. Clients will greet you. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. Clients forget you the moment you speak. So if you sound like every other notary, it has no stickiness to it. It doesn't put you in a class by yourself. It puts you in a general car lot versus this is a Rolls Royce over here. Let me treat it as so. The tire by itself is $3,000. You want to differentiate yourself from every other notary. And tech, we've seen this a lot over the years, that people will always compare themselves to the UPS store.
Oh, God.
Constantly. A client tells them, oh, what's the difference between you and UPS? Like, and they start competing with UPS on that notary level, bro. As if UPS is going to send one of them big doodoo brown trucks to the client's house to notarize a document. Like, why are you even competing with that person? They don't even do what you do.
I like to say, I always say this. I say, UPS, they're not notaries. They're UPS store employees.
Yes, they are. I had a notary. I went to go get something notarized at the UPS store. The chick said, I don't care what you're getting notarized. I'm just going to stamp it. She didn't care. She was like, I'm not reading nothing. I don't care. She didn't even want to be at she probably just started her shift. She had about a good 8 hours left on her shift. She was frustrated. It showed. She didn't care, bro.
Yeah, let me ring you up. Come on, let me get you out of here. Let's go. Stamp.
Come to find out, she did it wrong.
Oh.
I had to go back. And yeah, because it was me renewing my notary stamp, my commission. I had to go back. Guess what? She's no longer there. She got fired. Then when I did go back, the notary is not there.
Oh my God.
The notary is not there. I went there like 4 times. The notary is not there. So I would have rather paid $100-something. I learned from my lesson. Just pay $100, get it done with, and you're done. I had to drive back to that damn UPS store like damn near 3-4 times.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. The mobile notary industry is not the same thing as the UPS store, and yet people still compare those two. The daughter who lives in Florida, who has a father who lives in Arizona in a medical facility, who needs to coordinate a power of attorney for him at 1:30 p.m. on a Wednesday, that's very specific. That's not the UPS store. Stop comparing yourselves to the goddamn UPS store. My God.
And then you can't. Here's another big thing. You can't compare your price to a UPS store because they are a stationary notary. So the pricing per state for you to charge for having an office is different from a person that is mobile, that is a traveling notary. So the fact that you're charging the same as that price, it's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that because you're traveling and they're not. So your price shouldn't even be nowhere remotely close to what they're charging. So here's a fast action fix. Use the $1 million pitch formula. Again, refer to the video that we did last week. It's called Notary Shark Tank. The pitch formula goes like this. I help who with problem so they can result. Make your bio and voicemail speak your value. Address it. It's called persuasion. Not persuasion, but persuasion. You want to instill some persuasion before they actually do business with you. Tech, you want to say anything before number one spot?
I help out of state daughters and children with their elderly parents so they can get their power of attorney signed.
Yep. Just like that. 30 seconds.
Yeah. How much does it cost? It's $286. Oh, okay. On the website it says $300. Just want to make sure. Okay. How much is it? It's $600. Okay. On the website it says $245. Yeah. Do you need it done today? Okay. No. All right. Well, here's the next step. Let me send you a link. Go ahead, book the appointment. If something comes up, just call us. You know, and there's the level of detachment that I'm talking about. Like, you do it or not, I don't care. I don't care. I got other stuff to do. And then, nevertheless, they call you back 5 minutes later. It says, I guess it's not taking my credit card. Oh, no problem. We can help you over the phone. Okay.
Yeah, needy is creepy, bro. Needy is creepy. If you sound like you need their business, you creep them out. Think about a chick that was pushing up on you, and she was pushing up on you too hard. Needy is creepy. Girls, ladies, you know this. A guy just trying way too hard to get with you, you think this dude is a serial killer. Needy is creepy. So you don't want to do that in your business either. You don't want to look thirsty for the business. You want the business, but you don't want to look thirsty. You're like, oh, well, what if I just give you a discount of 50% off just out of nowhere?
No, thank you.
You know what I mean? Like, you ain't making them, you're just giving out concessions. Just the hell of it.
The cheap person will take that, though. That person that you ironically don't want to attract, that person will jump at a 50% discount.
Yeah, and then bring another document with them, too.
Yes. Yes, they will. Yeah, not even joking.
Okay, and let's go. Let me see if I find my drum roll tech for the number one spot. You're still taking all your calls personally.
Wow.
And you said this early in the show, too.
It's a big one. It's a big one.
The problem, you miss calls. Don't act like you don't miss calls. You miss calls. Or worse, answer while driving. Not recommended unless you got a Bluetooth with the built-in microphone. Don't do that. Don't put people's lives in danger, and don't put your life in danger. It ain't worth it for a goddamn $100, $200, $300, man. Don't do that. Pull over to the side of the shoulder if you have to. Pull up in the driveway, sit down, and then, take it. But don't drive and write notes and shit and like, man, no, that is not fly, and that is not a flex. You're putting people's lives in danger when you do that, even your own. You may be eating. I mean, if you like people interrupting your meal, that's on you. Or mid-appointment. Now, this one was huge for me, Tech, because I do not take sales calls in mid-appointment. I always looked at it as disrespectful. And then also, you're revealing your poker hand. Because if you're giving the big company feel, but you're answering sales call and it is like, well, I thought I was talking to a guy named Mark. You just answered the phone and said you're Mark, but your notary stamp says Villard. So now it's just like, it's just pie on the face, man. So why it hurts? Missed calls equal miss money. Unprofessional moments ruin your rep. Fast action fix. Use an AI phone system like Sabrina AI to answer, qualify, and book your clients 24/7. Now, listen, just because your business is open 24/7 doesn't mean that you have to run appointments 24/7. Sabrina can book your appointments on your schedule, the times that you are scheduled to do business, like business hours or after work. But 24/7, she can answer phone calls. You know how many phone calls I would get from truck drivers that just work the third shift? Because that's the time that they're up. They're actually asleep during the day. So at nighttime, they would call. Now it's beyond business hours at that point, but they were scheduling something for as soon as my shift is over. Like, I had plenty of truck drivers, Tech, that would say, hey, I'm going to be in Illinois around this time. This is the window that I'm going to be in Illinois. Can you have a notary meet me at the truck stop so I could get this document notarized so I can send it out? I'm only going to be in Illinois for this amount of time. There's a lot of professions that work third shift. So why not have your business running 24 hours to answer calls, answer questions, and still book appointments? How great is that, Tech, when you wake up and then you have an appointment booked, payment already deposited in the bank account?
Yeah, it's not a small deal. I celebrate. I swear to God, after I've been doing
Absolutely.
this for 5 years, I still celebrate, and I'm thankful that I can just, I literally don't work for the money. It just pops up. And obviously, I'm staying here all day. I don't even leave my house unless I, go to the grocery store. And, if I have something, somewhere to go, something to do, but I don't even do notary appointments anymore. I just outsource them all. And having that money cash in advance and having the appointment booked, all the details, the location is already there. The person's already told me about, I got to check in through the back door at the medical facility. You got to make sure you sign in, got to take a COVID test. The person's already told me all these things. And they told me that the dad is, is, he goes to sleep at 3 o'clock. So if you can be there on time, like all that information, having all that stuff is so empowering. And I never spoke to anybody. It's just, man, like I said, you won't even know unless you do this. So I'm not, listen, I'm not pressed to tell anybody to do this one way or another way. I'm just saying it's 2025 and you're damn near extinction. It's if you're not doing this, you don't know it yet, but you're done. You're done if you're not implementing these type of strategies and these techniques that every business around you going forward will do it. It's just so crazy because we're right in the middle of this transition, Tiger, from what used to be, because people still have that old way of doing it. And yeah, you might get away with it. It might be a couple, months or something. But I'm telling you right now, by the end of this year, I'm calling it, man. If you're not implementing automation, doing these AI phone calls, or at least, some type of strategy that removes you from the equation so that you're not doing everything, you're done for. You're going to be relegated to just making content online and lying. So that's all I got to say. So the final word: don't be a fossil. Don't be a damn dinosaur. Notaries who evolve will dominate. The ones who do resist, by extinction. This is a demo call today for Sabrina AI. Scan the QR code. Let us have a look at what you got going on. At the
Yeah,
very least, you'll get something out of it.
indeed. So, Tech, we're about to go into Money Corner. Before we do that, let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back for the Money Corner. Opus Clip turns your long-form videos into short clips in one click. Opus Clip is powered by AI, and it can create 30 clips in 15 minutes and outperform any manual video editing by saving 90% of time and tons of money. Opus Clip is so hot right now, it's like trying to get tickets to a Beyonce concert. So get Opus Clip now. Don't be the person who hears about it later and goes,
dang, I should have listened to Tiger TOLEDO.
Go ahead. Be the cool one in your squad. Try Opus Clip today for free. Just click the link in the description.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the Notary Insights show. This is our Money Corner segment, and I'm going to talk to you guys about a topic.
Well, let me play your intro first, Tech. Let me play your intro first.
Man, go ahead.
Dirty engineer boy. Circle it. Circle it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So listen, this topic is about saving money, and I'm gonna give you guys some real life examples. I'm gonna share my screen and show you guys, what to do. Here's an example of. I have a question for you guys. By the way, my question is, what do you know what banks do with your money? By the end of this presentation, I will answer that question. And there's another question I want to bring up. But before I do that, I want to show you a clip from, I believe it's TikTok, but it's this guy, Tony the Closer. You might have heard of him. He posted this really cool video of him going to the bank trying to get $100,000 out. And I want to, preface the presentation by showing you this clip here. So let's find out. So the problem that we have today is that many people just really don't understand how money works. And I'm bringing this from a concept that the problem is a lot bigger than you probably think. And it's just too bad that a lot of us haven't been taught about how this works in this concept, in this context in which I'm going to break it down. So what do I do with all this cash? What do I do with all this money? This massive wealth transfer that's already underway, if you don't stand to inherit anything from your parents or from your grandparents, then this might be the nail in the coffin. Just because there will never be another time, probably ever, in which this massive amount of wealth is being transferred all at once. Maybe when the millennials, if the millennials actually come away with something this time around, maybe when they, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, when that time hits, maybe there's another massive wealth transfer, but by that time, most of us won't be around. But let me start off by showing this clip from Tony the Closer, who posted this video of him going into a bank and then trying to withdraw $100,000. It's a great clip. Let me go back.
Yes. 100,000.
Okay. So we can have that.
Are you able to hear the audio?
Okay. I don't have till Tuesday of next week.
Yeah, you good, bro.
We can help facilitate that any faster. The only other way that we can do this is we can get you a cashier's check for $100,000.
I need cash. I don't need a cashier's check.
Yeah,
See, this is the problem with the banking financial industry is like, you guys have like access to all my money. Like right now, I want to be able to do something with my money, and I need it.
Okay, and we're not keeping it from you.
Yes, you are.
But in terms of cash, you're going to have us order that so that we have enough cash for all of our other clientele. So
you're supposed to be able to have cash for the people that have actual money in the bank. Like this is a scam.
One individual bank can't have.
But today is Thursday, right?
Yes.
Today is Thursday, so there should be time between now and tomorrow or Saturday where you guys can make calls to all these different branches out here to supply a banking customer. Because here's going to be the issue. If you don't give me my money, I'm going to close this account today because this is the second time I'll come into the bank and try to get money. And you guys play this game with me. See, it's ridiculous that I can have that type of capital in the dang on bank and not get the respect where I can come and pull my own money out. That's my hard-earned money. But it's every time I go into a financial bank. I did this in Vegas. I've done this in several places. You guys don't give me my money. Correct. Like it doesn't matter if it's 10,000, 20,000. You guys always have an excuse not to give me my money.
Okay, sir. I'm giving you the options that we have available to you. Not any one small institution is going to have.
This isn't Bank of America. Isn't a small institution. This isn't a credit union.
Each
branch. What are you talking about?
Okay, you're escalating this, and there's no.
I am escalating because I can't get my money.
Correct. You can in the form of a cashier's check. We absolutely provide.
What type of sense does that make for me to get a cashier's check when I go to the bank? I don't need a check.
So you're not walking around with $100,000 in cash.
Why wouldn't I? You guys talk like it's a secret. Yes, I wanted to get money.
Yes.
100,000.
Okay. So we can have that available.
That's fantastic, though.
I love that video.
Wow. No, that I experienced that. I wasn't trying to get 100K out. I was trying to get 10K out. But they was like, we have to order it for, and we don't carry that type of cash at the bank. I'm like, what? I can't access my own bread?
No, you can't.
Oh, man. No, that is frustrating, though. It really is, man. I'm glad you showed that, man. I hope you give me a remedy for that, because I plan to be going back to the bank and taking out some big payouts very soon, and I'd hate to go through what Tony the Closer is going through again.
So the question is, what do banks do with your money? Why don't they have your money? You ever
Great
think about
question,
that?
bro.
Yeah, so many people may know this, maybe they don't know this, but let's have a look at what some of the other people said. So we got Darius Cook, who said, hey man, I feel you. I'm in the same position, but banks don't always have that kind of cash on hand. You have to order it ahead of time. Okay, fair enough. Mel T. Dot says, also something a lot of people don't know, the banks only insure each account up to a certain amount. I think it's like 50K. That's not true. It's up to 250K. So if the bank went bankrupt and you had $1 million in that account, they would only pay you out $50,000 that they insured. Someone can correct me. Yeah, you're not. That's incorrect. Okay. Yeah, that's called FDIC insured. You can. Most banks only do it for $250,000. And Burn Dog says banks are the cartels. Chase, BOA, JP Morgan, Citibank. Move your money out of the bank. Another good recommendation. Fabio says they already lent out all your cash and are making tons of money on it. That's exactly right. Did you guys know that? That's why they don't have it. Now, and let's read what Credit Guy says. He says, this is pretty standard, to be honest. Anything over 10K, Tiger, they're going to give you the runaround. They don't keep millions of cash on hand, plus that money already been invested by the bank anyway. That's the real reason. So what's the truth? The truth is they do have the money there. Now, I can't say that they have that amount of money, right? But the truth is, if 10 people walked in there or 100 people walked in there and asked for $1,000, they would each get that money. So the $100,000, it is there, right? Now, if you're trying to get this large sum of money at one particular time, then in cash, and you want it all in the hundreds or all in 20s and things like that, the appropriate way to do it is to obviously call in advance so that you can coordinate this. And a lot of the other comments just talk about how largely this is a demonstration of why people don't know how the banking and the financial industry works. And Tony the Closer even hinted at that. I don't know if this video was genuine, to be perfectly honest. Maybe it was, but I always get the sense that maybe he's recording it. Maybe he's just doing this just for social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because of his response and the way that his tone and how it was like, okay, if they don't have it and you deal with this, you deal with those type of numbers, that shouldn't surprise you. That it just seems like it's not that far out there why you wouldn't know why they wouldn't have it. But nevertheless, why do you keep? My question was, when I was watching this, was why the hell would you keep $100,000 in the bank, knowing that they lend out your cash and they make tons of money on it, and I'm going to prove it to you. Okay, so banks, first of all, they're not required to keep your money inside of the bank. I don't know if you guys know that. Banks are not required for every $10 that you deposit. There's not a 1-to-1 requirement. In other words, if you deposit $100, they're not required by law to keep that $100 in there. They are allowed to. This is why when banks fail, right? Because they're like people trying to draw out their money, trying to withdraw the money, they don't have it. They circulate that money. They lend it out, they in credit and loans, and then that's what. See, the purpose of a bank is to facilitate transactions, not to store money, especially large sums of money, 100,000, tens of thousands of dollars. You hear that? That's why they say don't keep your money in the bank. Banks are designed purely 100% solely to facilitate transactions from one institution to another, to another, to another, not to store money. I know they call it a savings account. They do that, and they do that because it's just ad copy. It's just marketing, right? You don't save money in the bank. So I'm going to show you why banks, they actually take your money every time you get paid on your payday, your money hits that direct deposit. Soon as it hits the direct deposit, boom, they lend it out to somebody else. They make money on it, and then they turn around and lend you, half a percent. I'm gonna show you what I actually experienced. Again, we're giving you guys real solutions here. I'm gonna let you guys know how to answer the question: what the bank do with your money, and what to do with all this cash. Basically, we got a lot of people on TikTok who got opinions about everything, right? Everybody wants to know, or everybody has an idea of what to do with your money. These are all educational purposes only. By the way, I am Tekamaku. I am licensed by the state of California and the Department of Insurance to talk about these topics. Is this financial advice? You can take it as financial advice. I'm licensed to say that, so I can say that. I'm not one of these people who says I'm not licensed to give you financial advice. I could actually do that, but everybody has an opinion. Who's right? Who's not right? We don't know. But let me show you exactly what happened because I'm from my receipts. So what can you do with unused cash? Because as we all know, and as we learned by now, hopefully, you should not be keeping cash in the bank. By the way, I only keep $1 in the bank. True talk. And I've shown that before on the show. I've pulled up my bank. And I've showed you guys my actual credit union. There's only $1 in there. I keep it in there. All right. Everything else gets circulating, and I store cash other places. So if you don't know what to do, if you don't know the answers to the question, I guarantee you there's someone who does. They know what to do with the money. If you don't know what to do with your unused cash, they do. So this is why we need to know. All right. So here's one thing that people do. They put it into high yield savings accounts. Here's an example. I want you to pay attention to the date here. This is Thursday, May 18th, 2023. All right. So we're talking over 2 years ago, where American Express offered me a high yield savings account at 3.9% APY. So that means, hey, you got some unused cash that's just sitting in an account somewhere. Why don't you give it to us? Look at the national average. It's only a third of a percent. We actually have it at 3.9%. So your cash that's sitting in a bank that's earning 3.9%, if you keep it in there for a year, you're only going to get like 18 cents, 20 cents back. You put $100 in here, you'll probably get like, a fraction of a penny. You put $100,000 in here, you probably get like, just $30 back. Give it to us, we'll give you like $300. That's kind of how that works. So yeah, they got this slick marketing, and it's cool. I signed up for it because it actually was one of the highest rates in the country. And I looked. So 3.9%. Keep in mind the time, guys. I want you to pay attention. Keep in mind the time. 2023. That was one. The economy was not doing good. Inflation at an all-time high. Here's another little tidbit for you guys. When inflation gets really high, this is something you'll notice. When inflation gets really high, people, they look for ways to make their money go further. And this is how they do it. They put it in high yield savings accounts, or you put your money into vehicles that give you a larger return so that you can outpace inflation, or that you can keep up with inflation. The last thing you want to do is keep your money in a place where you're not getting any return on it. All right, 0.1%, or even worse, you're losing money. All right. So when inflation is high, this is why you'll notice banks and financial institutions, they give you bigger AP interest rates on your money. And then when inflation goes back down, like it is now, and I'm going to show you how what goes up must come down, guys. So let's keep in mind, May 2023. So they got this calculator. They tell you what to do, what to look, how to, a little bit more of a compelling argument why you should put your money into your high yield savings account. So I don't need to see all this. I know it works, right? People who don't want these small returns, they actually use this. All right. August. So I signed up for the account, and in May of 2023, in 3 months, it went from 3.9% all the way to 4.15%. How cool is that? You just made more money. Again, inflation was going up around that time. Inflation was all through the roof, 7, 8, 9, 10%. What happened? In less than 17 days later, the rate went up again. These are emails that American Express is sending me. Hey, Eddie Kamba, congratulations, you're getting more money. And then what happened again? Just 4 months later or 3 months later, it went up again. So I started in May with 3.9%. And then by the end of the year, I was already up to 4.35%. My money was earning money in my sleep. And a lot of people take advantage of this because they know how money works. You follow me? If you kept your money in one account, you didn't move, you didn't circulate, you just kept it in one account, then you probably lost money because inflation was going high. When I say inflation is going through the roof, that means the cost of things was going up. You were getting the cost of gas was going up, the cost of groceries, cost of food was going up, cost of shipping goods was going up. People were charging higher rates, so your money wasn't going as far as it used to. So just in this 6 month period. Now, and fast forward about 4 months later, after that, inflation started to get under control, right? The Federal Reserve started announcing that the rates had been changed and they were going to lower interest rates. And as a result, that takes a toll on the rest of the financial industry, the rest of all other industries. So instead of them telling me, hey, good news, the headlines of the emails, it started saying information about your account. So for the next, it went from 4.35, it dropped half of a percentage point down. And for the next 10, so that was April. So for the next six months later, October, November, December, every single month, the rate just continuously dropped. So it went from 3.9% all the way up to 4.35, and then all the way back down. So by the time, this is February of 2025. You see that right here? February 2025 is now down to 3.7%. You guys see the date there? Now, today's the 23rd of July. This is real time, guys. I'm talking. Look at this timestamp. Wednesday, July 2025. The rate has dropped below when it first started. Do you guys remember? If you don't know what to do, someone else will tell you what to do. Bank of America or American Express is telling me what to do with my money. Fortunately, I know what to do. Fortunately, when they make these announcements, I know I can move my money into another account, another high yield savings account that gives me a better return, or at least a return that I already had, right? Instead of, I like American Express, nothing against them. I'm not getting paid to say this, but I actually love American Express. But if I can get a better rate, I'm going to do what's best for me and my family. So if you don't know what to do, you just let your money sit there. You're just letting it lose value, because cash just loses value, right? Cash doesn't go up in value. I don't know if you guys knew that. Assets go up in value, and cash is not an asset. It's not actually worth more. But you can, through these vehicles like a high yield savings account, you can actually make your money grow faster. We already talked about Rule 72 and how you can find different interest rates, and you can really measure how to make money grow. And those things are important. So where did I start? You guys remember? If you guys are paying attention, what was the interest rate that I started when I first signed up for the bank account? It was actually 3.9%. And then over the course of the next year or so, or 6 months, how high did it get? It went up all the way up to 4.5%. Look how that's over half a percentage point. That may not seem like much to you, but that's significant. If we're talking about $100,000, 200,000, or we're talking about just 10,000, and you don't move the money, you just let it sit there. This type of percentages, it may not seem like a lot to you, but that could be the difference of thousands of dollars. All right, depending on what the balance is of those accounts. And I think the important thing is to recognize how quickly it moved over the course of only 24 months, 25, 26 months. Just a little bit of time. If you kept that same amount of money in that account and you never withdrew from it, you watched as your money went up. You were making a lot of money. Let's say you had 100,000. No, let's just start with something small, something more reasonable. Let's say you had $1,000 in this account. You never touched it. Over the course of these 2 years, that you were gaining about maybe $60 a month, $70. You were just getting these checks every single month. They were just sending you, hey, your account earned interest. Your account earned $100 this month. Your account earned $120 this month. Your account earned $200 this month. And then all of a sudden, your account earns $109. Then your account earns $89. Like, you're getting less and less money per month. That's what this means. So what does this mean? What should you do with unused cash? Number one, build your financial house. Every family's financial house, the foundation, start from the bottom, work your way up start from the bottom, and like a house. Everybody's financial family house, it starts with life insurance protection. Okay, that means, where should you keep your money? Not inside of banking accounts or not inside of savings accounts, but you keep it inside of life insurance. We talk about long term. We talk about, this is going to last me for the rest of my life, maybe even my kids and maybe my grandchildren. This is where the serious cash, and I'm talking about significant serious cash, is held in life insurance. It doesn't go away. It protects you in the event you know what hits the fan. Next thing, get rid of all your debt. This is exactly how you build long-term financial stability in your family. Start with life insurance, get rid of all the debt. Any type of debt you have is not your money. That's debt you're paying or you owe to somebody else. So you get $100 in, well, $30 of that needs to go to somebody else. So you only really got 70. So as long as you have debt, you'll be paying somebody else. Now, you can borrow from yourself, which is what I do, is that way you can pay back yourself. And that's exactly what a bank does. You give bank the money, what do? They borrow it to somebody else, or they lend it to somebody else, and then somebody has to pay them back. So you can have your own bank. You can use your own cash to use your own to become your own banker. All right. So next, eliminate all your debt. Build up an emergency fund. People say 3 to 6 months. That's pretty good. If you can do longer, even better. But you need to have some type of pool of cash that's specifically for emergencies. Once it gets up to a certain amount, you can just stop. All right. It doesn't have to continuously contribute to it. I like to say, as long as you have something liquid that you can pull from, and it can be like 2 months, 3 months, that's fine. But it has to be specifically distinctively for emergencies. Don't touch it, right? And that's something like a high yield savings account where you just don't touch it and just let it kind of grow on its own. All right. Next thing. So once you have life insurance, once you have eliminated your debt, once you've established a 3-month insurance emergency fund, that's when you start doing the investing. That's when you start gambling, or not gambling, you start dabbling into real estate, start dabbling into cryptocurrency, into stocks, into certain investments and mutual funds and things like that. That's when you just get all this stuff first, and then you can start taking a little bit more risk, where now you're subject to the fluctuations in the personalities and the environment of the market, and you don't know what will happen in the presidencies, any type of tax policy, catastrophes, because all those things, they affect, what happens across overseas. All those things affect what happens globally. So once you have once you have those short-term investments, you start, after you've built everything else, then you start, the roof of the house is like long-term investment. So we talk about your 401ks. What do you do with the income that comes from either your business income, the income that's generated from your 9 to 5 or your W-2? That's where the IRAs and the 401ks and the Roth IRAs come from. So just again, you want to build your financial house. I feel like if you can get good at these 5 things, you have a great future ahead of you. I won't keep this long. I can hear that my son is probably wants some food right now. But that concludes today's Money Corner. If you definitely want to kick some ideas off your head, want to figure out, what you and your family can do, click that QR code and bounce some ideas off my head. I'm definitely open to 5 minutes, 15 minutes to figure out how we can get you in a better position. That concludes.
Great show, Tech. Great segment, man. Circle the money, man.
Notary engineer boy. Circle it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show for today. Next week we will go back to and do a pass of trash. The baby Kimba is demanding right now. He needs the attention of his daddy. So definitely tune in with us next Wednesday. We're going to have an awesome segment for you guys. We're going to go over pass or trash. If you would like to have your website featured on Pass or Trash, send me an email to info@tigertoledo.com and enter your UR link, and we will feature your website on Pass or Trash. That's where we review websites and optimize it right there on the spot. So again, if you would like to participate in the Pass or Trash, we are opening our forum up to you. Just send us an email, say, hey, Pass or Trash in the subject line, and then put your URL link, and we will select and review your website for Pass or Trash website review. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, book a free demo if you'd like to see Sabrina in action and how she can work in your notary business. And until then, we will see you soon. You heard?
As a business owner, you're juggling a lot, and managing phone calls can quickly become overwhelming.
That's where Sabrina, the AI voice automation that turns calls into clients, comes in. Imagine having a reliable 24/7 assistant that never misses a call, handles routine questions, schedules appointments, and directs important calls to the right people, all without needing a human touch.
This frees up your team's time to focus on what really matters, saves you money, and ensures every customer gets a consistent, professional experience. It's like having an extra set of hands, so you can focus on growing your business, not just managing calls.
Scan the QR code to book your free demo today.